Now, Staffordshire Fire Service may be giving a boost to local communities, but many others are suffering because they're losing facilities. 56 post offices have closed in the West Midlands since 2008.
And one village that lost its post office has just been dealt another blow. The bus service residents were using to get to the nearest post office has now also been axed, as Bob Hockenhull reports.
Plenty of people waiting at the bus stop, but if it's a bus they want, they'll wait in vain. The number 82, the only service going through Berkswell near Coventry, was axed 10 days ago.
I think it's disgusting that they can take a service off which connects Berkswell people to Coventry, Solihull, Meriden and Borsal Common.
I think it's terrible, because the bus allows the likes of me and Barbara to keep our independence and go where we want.
The loss of the bus means 90-year-old Ron Webber can no longer get out of the village.
You could work your life to the bus and you didn't bother people, like, you know, that's what I liked about it, you know.
Ron lives next to the village shop. Until 2 years ago, he could have collected his pension from here, but now he can't even do that. Berkswell was one of 56 communities in the West Midlands that lost its post office in 2008. At the time, villagers were told they could use the bus to go to another post office.
As a villager, sign a petition.
With that option gone, a petition's been organised to get the lost service reinstated.
I just felt that the people here were completely forgotten, and it happened with no notice whatsoever. A lot of people were turning up here at the bus stop after the bus had stopped running. They were expecting to catch one.
An alternative taxi bus service has been laid on, but it must be booked in advance and offers a limited service. Transport officials say they couldn't justify the full bus service, which ran every hour.
The numbers that use those journeys from the quite extensive passenger counts and research that we've done are just sadly too low. We're talking on some journeys of perhaps as low as 2 or 3 per trip.
It meant some journeys from Berkswell were being subsidised by £7 per passenger, unaffordable in these cash-strapped times, say the authorities. Bob Hockenhull, BBC Midlands Today, Berkswell.
Well, let's go live now to Westminster and speak to the MP for Meriden, Caroline Spellman. Thanks for joining us this evening. Of course, your constituency covers Berkswell. What are people there telling you?
Well, certainly we all campaigned together to try and keep the post office there, and the post office, I think, just used the excuse that you could hop on the bus to Borsal Common or Meriden as a justification for closing that post office in the teeth of fierce local opposition. What I think is going wrong here is that no one is looking at the cumulative impact of the loss of these rural services. And just to make a clear point about the alternative taxi bus that was referred to in your film, there is a taxi bus service. It uses 3 minibuses, but there's no service after 7 o'clock at night, and it's in such demand that you have to book it a week in advance. So when Centro tell me they believe that there's additional capacity there in the taxi bus, I have to say there isn't.
So what can you do about this?
Well, I'm going to go and see Centro on Thursday. I originally wrote to them on the 30th of June. I've had a reply from them on the 28th of July, and I've arranged a meeting with Centro this Thursday, and I will ask some hard questions about why these changes were made without consulting the local community, and I will bring across to them the point that there isn't spare capacity in the taxi bus service as they presently believe.
The thing is, there's this great climate of cuts, as you know, at the moment, and I know this one isn't directly involving a political sort of aspect, but don't you feel perhaps things are going too fast too quickly and that too many people are suffering as a result of this climate of cuts?
Well, I think the subsidy which Centro receive of £160,000 hasn't in fact been cut or altered. This is not the point. What's happened is the bus contractor that previously served my villages in the constituency, National Express, has ceased to contract for that work, and the new contractor has taken the view that they want to run the service but not through the villages, and the villagers weren't consulted over that. So I think it's quite right to go back to Centro, which holds £160,000 a subsidy of taxpayers' money, and try and find a solution that means people stranded in my villages who now don't have a post office actually have the opportunity to access essential services.
OK, Caroline Spellman, have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.